Hey guys, welcome to Shabangarang. It's me, Gabe, and with us we have.
I'm Dusk. Welcome to Shabangarang.
I'm Peyton, and you changed the script on me.
Who cares? There's no script. Regardless, welcome to Shabangarang. We know it's been a while, approximately 3 months, in fact, and I have no sympathy or any feelings towards that at all. And so yeah,
I do. I
sorry.
hate you.
Well,
I
that's a
What
hate
the?
you.
little bit rude.
Okay, fine, okay. Wait, did we cuss in the last one? I wanna be
I don't
kind to
know,
the kids.
but
You know
if
what?
you ever
Fuck it.
say cuss
I'm gonna say
again, we're
bad
never
words.
saying anything. It's the end of Shabangarang.
Fine. Welcome to Shabangarang. Anyway, 3 months is a long time. Surprisingly, we have more viewers than we thought we originally would, and that's probably just because it's us, but we listen to it again. Regardless, we have a fun show for you today, I think. So, we're going to be starting out with a very fun topic. You all have been to it unless you're an infant, in which case you should be there eventually. So, we're going to be talking about school stories. And I'm sure that we all have something exciting planned. Am I wrong?
I'm homeschooled.
Absolutely not.
Awesome. Great. So, who wants to start this wacky story off?
I'll start this wacky story off because I've been thinking about this for a little bit, for a little second.
Approximately
Uh,
10 minutes.
so basically, back when I was in second grade and we all went to our little playgrounds, my little school had this funny little thing that no other school had. We had a big plastic slide that was like 10 feet tall.
Oh God.
And goddamn, people like fucking people worship that fucking slide, and it was
I don't
just
know what's with it, like with kids and like always wanting to like go on like really tall things. Like if you go to a water park, there's always just a line of like literal babies lined up to go to like the death drop or something.
Danger. The
it's the
adrenaline.
Exactly.
thrill. It's like the thrill of going back to a time before.
Yeah, exactly.
People when people got on the slide, they were fighting for their lives. Like
Oh
people
God.
were pushing and pulling and killing and shooting and spitting and everything. A lot of kids would like get like pushed off the rails at the top and land on like cinder blocks and die, and that was pretty funny to me. I was I was a victim of this once, and I fainted. I fainted, and I was unconscious for like a good hour, two
Oh
hours.
no.
I stepped back into the class, and my teacher did not bat an eye at me. But
Oh my god.
I always wondered if that really happened, and if there was ever a slide at all.
It's all in
It
your
was
head.
all you never went to elementary school. You're not even alive now. It's a coma.
That's true. Can't even
I
go back
actually had a
now.
I had a very similar sort of situation in preschool where I was on top of a slide, of course, and
Mhm.
I got dizzy. And I just sort of fell backwards on the stairs.
Oh my God.
And yeah, whenever I fell, yeah, you should know this story. I think I've said it. And I hit the ground and I was biting my tongue, and I have this massive scar on my tongue
Oh
because I bit down.
yeah.
I almost needed stitches. I didn't. Instead, I got popsicles, and I was happy,
Are
a
you
happy
guys
little baby boy.
okay? Don't go anywhere high. That's
No,
like
no.
the air is thin. That's how tall you guys are. The fuck is wrong
Well,
with you?
well, Peyton, we've set it up. Where's your slide story?
Start suffocating.
Um, oh, I mean, I do kind of have a slide story.
Why does everyone have a slide story
I don't
here?
know. This
My
was
story.
recent, like 3 years ago, because I'm just
Like
fucking stupid.
yesterday,
Yeah. Um,
3 hours ago.
it was the middle of winter, and my friends in the eighth grade used to hang out at the park, just like not our school park, but a park nearby, since we are allowed out. And everything was iced over. And we were just kind of like screwing around, eating lunch, whatever, hanging out for the 40 minutes we had. And I saw the slide, and there was a bunch of frozen like water droplets on it. So it was all ice, but like little tiny specks. And in my head, I went, great idea. This is going to go super well because if I can climb it, if the water acts like grips on my feet as if it was rock climbing. So for some reason I decided that ice was a I was able to grip onto it instead of slip.
Non-slippery substance. Yeah,
I took one step and then backflipped off the side of the slide into the snow. It didn't
that's
end
pretty sick,
well.
though.
I lost my Rice Krispie square. I ate it anyways. It's just really cold. I don't know
Wait,
why I thought that was a good idea.
did you actually land on your feet, or did you
No, I
like?
landed on my back. Like I my ass hit the
Oh my!
ground first. It
What the?
sucked.
Okay, all three of us have had a slide story where we all fall off and hit our back in
Yeah.
some
I hit
way.
my no, I hit my head.
I know, but like your posterior instead of like your front side.
No, I hit my front side too. I
Your
went down
aunt
like a
or
fucking boulder.
Yeah, I ate shit.
you were a boulder?
It like I could not fucking breathe. I got up and I was like, "Huh, I can't breathe anymore.
Oh
It's just
God.
not working."
Guess you died, huh? Well, okay. Okay, so my story was in fifth grade, grade 5 for all you Canadians out there.
It's the same thing.
Um, I was one of the older kids, and I was like, the king on campus. All the first graders were terrified. I mean, not terrorized, but same thing. I was a cool guy. My friend Rowan and I did this thing one time. This isn't the story, but we did this thing one time with a first grader, I think, where we 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 convinced him that Mickey Mouse was a serial killer,
Oh boy.
and we scared the shit out of him, and I feel so bad for it. But whenever I brought it up to my friend Rowan, he was just like, "Oh, yeah, that was a thing. That was pretty funny." So
I mean, I can't blame
you
him.
can now, of course, this is their redemption arc in a way, and I'm at this ice cream social, right? This ice cream social is like for parents and kids just to enjoy the school and be like, "Oh wow, hello teachers, hello playground. Let's talk about business while the kiddos go muck around and get hurt or something." I'm out on the playground, right? And there's this kid who comes up to me. He's rather young. I don't know their age. So they're like, "Hey, you want to play tag with us or something?" And since I was one of the older kids and I was like really bored, kind of edgy, hang out in the back, I was like, "Sure, why not? This seems like a perfect opportunity to do something rather than just standing around."
Pedophilia.
I was there, and we were playing tag for a little bit, and then more kids started showing up. They're all young, like kindergarten, first grade. I don't know why I keep saying first grade, but that's what I'm going to use. We had these first graders. They were coming up to me, and then this suddenly, I don't know how it did. It became a game of I'm like an escaped prisoner. I've escaped the jail, and they're all police, and they're chasing me. And if they find me, they can just kill me, just beat me up.
Oh God.
And the thing was, I never agreed on these rules of a bunch of babies running around, pinning me to the ground, but then just beating me up. I'll tell you, the story doesn't end with me successfully getting out of it. So we had trailers, or as you Canadian folk call them, portables, and we had two of them next to each other, and so it was like an alleyway, like a mock alleyway. So I'm going down it because I'm trying to escape these guys, and then it's like one of those action movies.
Mm.
And then because then just these first graders out of nowhere cornered the other side, and I can't turn around because there's more behind me. I was scared for my life. They caught me, they dragged me out, and then they pushed me to the ground and started beating the shit out of me. I ran yeah. I
Awesome.
ran out of I ran out of there, and I found the principal, and I'm like, these kids are hurting me. Please, like, can you do something about this? And he just looks at me. What I remember is pretty much him saying, "They're just kids. Just have a good time." And I'm like, "They're going to hurt me." And they're like, "I don't know. Just have
I'm
fun.
going to
They're kids."
die. They're going to kill me.
And and that's like whenever I first realized that there are people out there in the world who are pieces of shit, and they will do anything to get you hurt.
You're like
I could
bleeding
feel,
out.
I could feel, I could feel it just inside. I was betrayed by my own principal. So I started running away. I hid out in like a tube or something. They never found me. I got out of there. My mom was like, "What happened?" I'm like, "You don't even want to know. You
I got
wouldn't get it."
Mom. I got beat up by a bunch of first graders. It was a bad
Exactly.
day.
It was a bad. Give me my chalky milk. Can we stop by McDonald's or some shit? And
Get extra fries.
You're a changed man now.
apple slices. No milk. Um, so I made it out of there alive. That's how I became who I am today. And
Unfortunate.
it's a little rapscallion, of course.
Wow.
I never
It's
saw the
terrible.
first graders again. I never saw them again. I didn't have the same recesses as them, and they just disappeared off the face of the earth ever since that happened.
Spirits.
You know,
Angered spirits.
Kill them all.
I was traumatized by my ancestors. Um, that's that's my story.
We're getting back
Hope
was a
you
good
enjoyed
one.
my suffering. My suffering.
The most
I
entertaining
Okay.
topic of all.
remember when I was in 4th grade and 5th grade, the school that I went to, we had a fight club of all the kids. No
What?
matter what grade or age you were, we even had a kindergarten classroom that would come and watch us sometimes. It was in the downstairs bathroom, and there were no fucking rules. Um, if you
There are
Oh
just
two
God.
rules exactly: be yourself
if
and have fun.
you don't go to that, you're not allowed to go to that washroom for peeing. If you're caught peeing in the washroom and somebody else walks in, you are in the fucking you're like in the trenches now, and you're going to die.
Oh God.
They put you in the ring.
Yeah. One time okay, so there's a lot of things that's happened. That there's a lot of things that have happened in that bathroom. I've only been in there twice. This one time, somebody brought like a bunch of firecrackers for God knows what reason, and they put them inside of like a sock,
Oh
and then
no.
he just kind of like started throwing that around. Little to his knowledge, it burst in flames, and he had no idea what to do. He threw it at he threw it in like the corner of the bathroom. It exploded, and a urinal fell to the ground and cracked and shattered.
Oh my God.
Another time, a kid brought a knife, and
That ended well.
End of the sentence.
as soon as he brought it out, everybody just went silent, and everybody just slowly walked outside, and the school was shut down for like a week.
Oh my God.
God damn! I remember one of the new kids went there and he peed. He went there. He was just peeing. Big man followed him in. They were both in the principal's office 30 minutes later, with the big dudes covered in piss. It was a really fun time.
Your
Okay.
firecracker story reminded me that one time my friend and I found like an empty firework tube and I thought the design looked cool, so I brought it inside and put it in my locker. And I guess
Oh my!
someone ratted me out, or like we were trying to go inside, that was the plan, and then principal saw me and she's like, "But you can't bring that inside." I'm like, "It's a piece of fucking cardboard. Let me bring it in. Like, what do you think I'm gonna do? There's nothing." She's like, "There could be gunpowder in it still." And I'm like, "I'm not trying to destroy the school. I've never been to the principal's office. What do
Not
you want
yet.
from me?"
You
Little does she
were
know, she
a
just
good kid.
prevented like the entire school from burning down.
Yeah, she came back from the future. She knows what happened.
She knew what's gonna happen. She was there to
Wait,
save
was
you.
for your Fight Club story was like this was like let me guess like a boy exclusive type thing
Nope,
because it
not at
wasn't.
all. Anybody was welcome. Any grade, any gender, any age.
It's so
Oh,
inclusive.
because you made it sound like it was a since it was there was a urinal. I thought it was a boy's
It was
bathroom.
in the boys' bathroom, yeah. But back okay. So where I'm from, well, to where I'm
Dox
from,
yourself.
more
Dox
like
yourself.
more like with the school that I was in, it was like a unisex bathroom. Each bathroom was
Mm.
because they didn't want to spend money on two bathrooms. So there in each of the thing there was like there was like urinals, but like it was unisex. So yeah, anybody was allowed.
Have you ever? Did you ever get in a tussle there?
I did get in a tussle once. Fucker smashed my head against like a sink tap.
Slide.
A slide.
Brought it
Sounds
Yeah,
indoors.
close.
we had a fun time. Yeah, we put a slide in the fucking bathroom, blew it up with a bunch of firecrackers, and peed on it.
What? It knocked you against the head of a.
It knocked me against like a sink tap, the bathroom sink
Yeah.
taps. Like you put my head in the fucking like the sink bowl. Um, I won that fight though because I roundhouse kicked him and then I punched him in the face and it was awesome. And I took out my fan, started beating the shit out of him, dude. I did like some karate chops and everything. He
What
started
grade were you in?
fourth grade. But in
Fourth
all
grader
honesty,
roundhouse kick.
basically how it was like really shitty. It was a really shitty fight. He tried to grab my head and put my head in a thing and then turn on the tap like he was trying to drown me. I just punched him in the face and
He's
he went
trying to
down.
drown you.
He was trying to drown me. I punched him in the face and he went down.
I have an odd feeling like he just like hit you once in the head. And since like younger kids have like such weak bones, you just fucking like you went down and you just like put all these false memories of you beating the shit out of him as a coping mechanism.
I went unconscious and I dreamed it.
Your entire life has been a lie. You're still the battery in the matrix that you were destined to be.
I'm gonna wake up in like 20 minutes in the same bathroom covered in piss.
No.
You've lived this long. Um, okay. What do you have, Peyton? Provide us with the story.
Well, I've never been in a fight. I'm a weakling, but I was gonna talk about another playground story before we wildly
Yeah,
veered
go
off
for it.
topic.
Go for it.
It's
Go
very
for it.
short, But a couple years ago we went out to get lunch. We went to Subway, good old Subway. I love Subway. And then it took like a really long ass time to order the sandwich, so we only had a few minutes to eat. But when we got back to the park, my friend was moving around like gesturing, and he dropped his he held his sandwich out and all the contents fell out on like mulch. So he started yelling because his entire sandwich was just like soggy bread now, and we solemnly buried it in the mulch. Like there's like a piece of like fucking ham and lettuce and shit, and we just covered it with the mulch and held a little funeral, and then we went back to class. I
I
have no
actually have
stories.
another.
You do?
Well, another topic. Since we talked about elementary school, well, Dusk and I did. Let's talk about
Oh,
middle school.
in middle
Okay.
school, I burned my thumb with a hot glue gun 17 times, and I never learned.
Oh, same.
Do you know what I
Everyday
Forever.
did?
project.
I grabbed the front of it like
No.
I grabbed the front of it like a fucking like I was grabbing like a cabbage.
I'd
For
still
some
do
fucking
that.
reason, I never learned.
Whenever I was a kid, I used to get bored, and so I turned on the hot glue gun. I would like intentionally see how much I could take, like with the hot glue on my hand.
Hey, do you have
Fucking
that meme that
psychopath.
says get a fucking therapist? Because I need to DM
Yeah.
that to you right now. What's wrong with you? Are you
I
okay?
don't know.
You
I
need
was
to
really bored. I was
experience
young.
excruciating burns to feel anything?
I was an emo kid. I was an
Masochist.
emo kid.
Fucking cock and ball
I
torture.
was like,
Jesus.
Smack your fucking balls in.
I was like a second grader or some shit, like first grader, of
Oh
course.
my god.
And I was like bored, and I was just like, oh, let's see how much pain I can take. And I did that, and I took my emo phase early, I guess.
When I was bored in second grade, I'd
Let's
fucking licked jello crystals off of a rainbow diorama we made. Like, what kind of shit were you doing?
Oh god, when I was really young, I used to eat Nivea cream. Just like
Ew.
whole. Just put it in my fucking mouth and eat it. My grandmother caught me one day and she's like, "You're fucking stupid. Stop doing that immediately."
Actually, I think my mom told me and my sister that we had a problem with Vaseline.
What's with kids and like eating creams?
It smells good, it's appetizing, it's so
And it's
easy
like
to put it in your
soft.
mouth. It's right
Yeah.
I
there.
never.
You can just
Yeah,
grab it.
you're telling me I need a therapist while you guys are talking about literally eating creams.
Okay, well, so that was like when I was like 3 years old, and like it's not like I ate crayons
I was in second grade.
Crayons.
or Play-Doh. I've never eaten Play-Doh.
I've
There's
eaten
nothing
Play-Doh.
appetizing about
I've eaten
Play-Doh.
Play-Doh. I've eaten Play-Doh
Shut
too.
up then.
Disgusting. I literally had to spit it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't eat it, but like I did put it in my mouth. This is a great topic. Great topic. Speaking of eating, did you guys ever like make those things where you would get like all these ingredients, put it in a bottle, and then just drink it and see who could just withstand it?
No, but I did recently watch a friend do that, and it was horrifying. It contained hot sauce and like milk, among other things. Gross.
I one time I put hot sauce, milk, and Pepsi into a glass and
No,
drank it.
no, no.
Oh my
Never
God.
do that. That's like a disgrace to Pepsi's name.
Um,
I
we
think
used
Pepsi is a disgrace to Pepsi's name.
Hey, take it back. I
I'm not
peaked my mic to say that.
in middle school, I had an experience for almost 3 years. I was in that establishment, that amazing facility. We used to call them ER teenies. And don't ask where the first part comes from. It's a long story. So we have these Yartinis, and what we would do, one of us would always get like a fruit juice, and that's a other like product in the milk in the lunch line. And so like you get that, and it's in a bottle. So the person would just chug the whole thing because we weren't using it for the drink,
Oh no.
and we would put in anything and everything, like ranch,
Ew.
peppers,
No.
pizza, coffee, and put like all this kind of stuff into it. Ketchup, tons of stuff. And then we would pass it around the table. And I remember a specific instance in eighth grade where we would start like not really pounding, but like do a rhythm on the table where it's just like and then we would start doing Spider-Man 2 pizzeria theme. Well, okay, we would only do that whenever the person shook it. Yeah, we would shake the bottle to the beat of that song, and everyone in the table would start like singing the song, and then we would stop, and then we would drink it.
From the
Like
same
what?
bottle.
Yeah, from the same bottle.
How are you not like dead? You probably should have contracted like several diseases that way.
Well, we didn't. We didn't. And that's the who cares? We're kids. We're not gonna kill each other by like secondhand kissing. Um, and so we're just a bunch of homies sitting at a table. And we're drinking this disgusting bottle of like piss and just disgusting shit. I remember there was this one time this kid like drank it and he just started like he ran to the trash can and just started fucking vomiting everywhere.
Oh no.
That was that's the extent of the Artini. Just
Gross.
yeah, we completely stopped on the last day of eighth grade, and we just didn't do it so far.
Good.
High school, I don't think we're
It's
gonna do it
terrible.
anymore. Um, so my final story is how I met my one of my best friends, and so I met my friend this way, and it was one of the weirdest ways I think I can. It also involves uh, vomit in a way,
Oh
of
god.
course. So we were in this class in sixth grade called How Things Work. Works. How Things Work. That's it. Who cares? And it was a class where like you would like I don't know how to describe it. It's like you have I guess it's like that one class that you have, um, where it's sort of like you learn these sort of necessary skills and you can just mess around, do that kind of stuff. And pretty much one time we were watching a film in class and I just randomly got like really sick feeling. And so I was like I felt like I was gonna vomit, so I raised my hand. And it took like she didn't call on me for like a minute and a half and I was just like about to fucking lose it. And so I just pretty much interrupted and say, yeah, I'm gonna go vomit real quick. And I run over to her trash can and just start vomiting. And and then she's like, oh, that's disgusting. You should have just said beforehand. And that was painful to hear. Um, but my friend, my now friend, my current cool guy friend,
No, no.
um, at the time, he was assigned the role to carry the trash can with me
No.
because I vomited again. And he followed me and we started having a discussion and he felt bad for me or something. And that's how we met and we started talking more during the class because I was the kid who vomited. No one wanted to talk to me. So I met like a few more
I
friends who I
don't
still
talk
talk
to
to.
you.
Oh, how
And
sweet.
that's how I met people. I because I was a sick little boy. That's how I met my friend.
Together.
Okay.
Through I don't know wedding vows. Sorry. Just edit that out. I messed up the
I'm keeping
joke.
it in. I'm keeping it
No. Through
in. Okay.
sickness and in health. That's it. Just cut directly to that. It's gonna be like really weird.
Through sickness and through health. Okay, guys. You got any more stories?
You stole my
Trying to
joke.
think of some high school stories of my own, but I don't think anything
Go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
nothing's
Go
happened in
ahead.
last
high school.
like the
I've been
last
more
2 years.
boring.
Anything
We're
happened this
pretty
year
sick.
or last year?
I don't know. I remember in grade 8, I was standing on a little slope, like as a garden, talking to my friends, and I was holding an open water bottle. And I took a step back, but there's pine needles all over the ground, and I slipped and spilt my entire fucking water bottle all over my lap. And I was laughing so damn hard, and my friends, instead of offering to help, they just laughed harder.
That reminds me of the Pringle story. Do you remember the Pringle story?
With you? Oh,
You-
yeah! That made me laugh so hard when I heard it. I wasn't even there.
It was probably like the first time we like properly interacted too.
Yeah.
And it always gets them. I always start
We
off with the
always
Pringle story.
we always meet each other through these like trials. See if we're
Okay, so
pure of heart.
the story goes, you know how like you can take two Pringles and face them like the opposite of each other,
Oh,
put them in your
duck.
mouth,
Yeah.
start
Duck.
quacking. like a.
Yeah.
So I did that, right? And my friend found it so funny. He started laughing. I started laughing too. I sucked the fucking Pringle chips into my throat, and they got lodged in there. And my friend, he had no fucking idea what to do. His best course of action, his thought process, he punched me in the fucking throat as hard as he could. It fucking worked. The chips snapped. I got a few scratches in my throat, but other than that, I was fine. I fucking swallowed them, and then I did it again.
Oh my god.
It was like a 5-minute thing, and we never talked about it ever again.
Something like that happened to me, but not the same.
Yeah, I think
Keep
the funniest
going.
part of that is just punching you in the throat and just imagining like hearing that crack and then just sort of thinking, oh, he snapped my neck.
Better cut my losses.
That's it. No more friend.
Yeah, like I swear to God, I started choking and he went to do a fighting pose.
One time I choked on a dime.
How?
And this was freshman year.
Oh my god.
Oh my Christ.
I was doing this like dumb thing where I was like, I don't know how it came about, but I was balancing a dime on my lips, and then just I accidentally like got like spooked by someone, I think, and then and I was literally choking. I was so close to blacking out.
Oh my god.
I was just laying there. I was like I was like laying down on my desk, and no, it was like a oh, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a seat and a desk in one. So I was just sort of like sprawled, like half my body just like covering the whole fucking thing. And like my friends were just like looking at me like, dude, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm choking on a dime.
They're watching you pass away.
Pretty much, yeah. And I was so close to passing out. I was so close. I almost died.
You're like in the middle of moving from realm to realm and they're laughing.
Yeah. Well, they weren't laughing. They were just staring at me. They were observing.
Yo, what's up with him?
They're just looking blankly.
Just gaining intel.
They form a circle around you.
They're gaining intel for the next time they like see it, so they don't have to be worried about it. They're observing it.
Wow.
It's like how you like kill ants with a magnifying glass.
God, that fucking reminds me, dude. When I was younger, I used to really love like the taste of metal.
Oh,
and we had like a bunch of coins, or like copper coins, that I would always put into my, like I was when they this is when they like went out of commission. I put as many of them as I could in my mouth. Like imagine like you do with like
So
Skittles
gross.
or something. I was like, this is fucking delicious, dude. I swallowed like 7.
You're a piggy bank.
If someone ever digs up their grave, they're gonna be like, "Oh, sweet, pocket change."
My special attack, I just fucking punch myself in the stomach and a bunch of coins start flying out.
Punch yourself in the throat.
Projectiles. I've never choked on anything, but one time I was having a birthday party, and a chip was stuck like vertically in my mouth, and I almost choked. But then I just stared at the plate underneath. It fell out and snapped in half.
What did you say?
I'm sorry.
What did
It was stuck vertically, and then it fell out of my mouth and snapped in half on the plate, and I lost it. Like I could not stop laughing at the chip that just fell.
Whenever you said lost it, I thought you meant like crying. It was like near death, but instead you're just like.
No, it was so funny. I couldn't breathe, and that's why it still makes me laugh to this day, because the mental image of just a chip appearing out of nowhere and shattering on a plate in front of me is the funniest thing ever. It did. It split into like a million pieces.
Somebody unhinges their jaw. A chip comes flying out and shatters into a million pieces. Fuck.
That's exactly what happened.
Fuck.
My friends were just staring at me though. It's like all of the same story. Just watching.
It's like a human instinct to like observe.
Yeah. I'm like, wow, shit, that looks pretty rough. Let's keep watching. See what happens.
Exactly.
Misogynistic.
No.
Wait, that's not the right word. Manic.
Wow,
Masochist.
wildly off.
It's like, yeah, I don't know what's like with it with me and choking, but like, don't take that out of context. No. but
No.
like I've choked on a lot, a lot.
Go ahead.
I can't
Go
finish
ahead.
the sentence.
Go ahead.
Finish
Go
a
ahead.
lot of things. I've choked on a lot of like weird inanimate objects.
Are
Um,
you okay?
It's funny.
Why does this keep happening? Stop putting things in your mouth. Like every time I see like careful choking hazard, I'm like that's stupid. Who would choke on this? It's you. You would choke
It's
on
Gabe.
it.
It's Gabe.
paper chokes on paper. Um, my one of my favorite trends as of last year with no explanation as to why I do it, and I probably would still do it if there were people around. Um, just randomly walking up to somebody and like making my hand form like a chokehold and just approach them slowly.
I love doing that.
And then you do that, and then you don't actually choke them, but you might just put your like hand around their neck, and you're just like, ah, yes, this is what power feels like.
Show your
I'm
dominance.
scared.
I'm a, I know there are gonna be two kind of people who think I'm like absolutely crazy, or people who are gonna think like I'm a fucking
Fucking
freak.
sexually active.
Exactly.
You took that one test too many times.
Ah, yes.
Power. Ropes.
I don't like the direction where we're going.
Steer away, steer
Let's all
away.
pick.
This needs to be safe
Let's all
for
pick
work.
the. Let's take that BDSM test and all share results. Thank you guys for listening to Shabangarang. You listened to us talk about some weird stuff that you probably shouldn't have because it's weird and we're weird people. But regardless, thank you for listening. If you have any suggestions for the next episode, whenever we make that in like 4 months, be sure to let us know. We'll try to do this more often, hopefully, but no promises. Just
Are,
make sure to tell us what you think. Subscribe, like all that YouTube jargon, and who knows? I might upload this to Spotify, and if you are listening to Spotify, then I hate you. Um,
our upload schedule will remain a secret.
exactly. It's like, yeah, you'll never know. You'll never know.
It's perfect.
Regardless,
Surprise.
thank you for listening. Talk to you guys next time. See you next time on Shabanger Guy, Shabangarang.
This is Bangarang.